This is the video for Thursday, March 16th. Number 1 says, what is the length of the side? We need to make sure that we're paying really close attention because this is a P, not an A. So we know that this number is actually the perimeter that's been given, not the area. So if this side is 8, we know this side is 8, and we need to subtract 16 from 36 to see now that we have 20 left over that needs to be put up, split up into these two sides. And we can also draw our bar graph that bargram that we've been doing in class. So we know that the perimeter is 36. We know two sides are 8, and now we need to find out what those other two sides are. I'm gonna let you finish that up for tomorrow. Again, it's really important, even though these are multiple choice, we're not just going through and circling answers. We need to make sure we're also showing our work. Number 2 is a pretty simple fluency. 49 divided by what equals 7? Again, use your multiplication if you need help with that. And number 3 is asking, what is the value of the point? We can draw our tape diagram to help us out for this one and color up, and then figure out which fraction matches your tape diagram. Number 4, what is the area of the figure below? We know length times width equals our area, so I'm going to leave this equation here. I should see your equation using your numbers below that. Number 5 is one that we cannot afford to get wrong. We must get this one right because it's just using addition. Set up your problem vertically, and you should also do a check using subtraction as well. So I should see your addition work as well as your subtraction work. For number 6, what is the length of the line? Well, we know that there's certainly one hole because it's going past the hole, and now you need to figure out what the remaining fraction is. I drew the tape diagram here. You can fill that in to help you figure out which fraction is the length of the line. For problem number 7, 4/9 is the same as which of these answers? We know that we're looking for which one is equaling 4/9. So we're looking for our denominator to stay the same and our numerator to equal 4. Oops, sorry about that. Number 8, what time is 30 minutes before 3:55? So we know our final time is 3:55, and we know our elapsed time is 30 minutes, but we're looking for our start time. I'm going to allow you to finish that one. We've been doing a really good job of using our T-chart to help us figure out time. Number 9, how many toys do all of the children have? So we're looking for all of the children. Each toy teddy bear is equal to 10. So I would write out all of these values at the end of the pictures and then use those to figure out the total number or all of the toys the children have. Again, I should see your equation on the side over here and then choose your answer. Number 10, which figure below is not a quadrilateral? And we know a quadrilateral is a shape that has 4 sides. So using that information, figure out which one is not a quadrilateral. Number 11, we're multiplying 5 times 80. Anytime we're multiplying by a large number like this, we can split it into 8 times 10. And then multiply 5 times 8, which is 40. And then multiply that by 10, which gives us 400. It's really important that we really understand how these problems work because we can change it up so that it's much easier for us to multiply. For number 12, we're rounding 8,347 to the nearest hundred. My first 100 is 300. I'm going to just put my 8,000 in front of that. The next 100 would be 400, again putting my 8,000 in front of that. And in between 300 and 400 is 350, again, just putting my 8 in front of that. You're going to place 8,347 on the number line and then figure out if you're going to be rounding down or rounding up and which answer is going to be the correct answer. And then number 13, which fraction is equivalent to 6/8? Again, we need to figure out, using multiplication or division, which of these fractions is equivalent. If I'm going from 6 to 3, I need to divide by 2. If I'm doing that on the top, I also need to do it on the bottom. 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. And I can see that these are not the same answer, so this can't be correct. 6/8, again, if I need to get to a numerator of 3, I would divide by 2. I need to do that on the bottom then as well. 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. These are the same, so that's a correct answer. We can try it again for this fraction here. Nothing times 6 gives me 10, so this can't be correct. And finally, for this last one, 6 divided by 2 gives me 3, but 8 divided by 2 does not give me 10, so this cannot be correct. Again, it's really important to show your work for all of these problems so that you can clearly see if they are equivalent or not. Number 14, write 11/5 as a mixed number. So we can use our number bonds. 5 over 5 is 1 whole. We can make a second whole because now we have 10 and we just need one more fifth to make 11. So I can see I have 2 wholes and 1/5 left over. Number 15, Mona has 7 pieces of paper. She cuts each paper into 4 rectangles. So each one is getting cut into 4 rectangles. How many paper rectangles does Mona have? So I'm going to use an equation to find my answer. Again, she has 7 pieces of paper. She's cutting into 4 rectangles. Number 16, we're filling in the blank. We can see our rows, columns, rows, columns. I have my rows that stayed the same. And I have one of my columns, but I'm missing the other. So we can use the right side of this equation to help us fill in the left side. Number 17, what is the area of the figure? We're going to cut and continue, and we're going to write our 2-area equation. I'm going to let you figure that one out on your own. Number 18, a pile of books weighs 87 grams. After some books are added, the pile weighs 96 grams. How heavy were the added books? So again, we start with 87. Some books are added, and now we have 96 grams. How heavy were the added books? So those books that we were adding, what was their weight? Again, we should have an equation as well as our answer, and I want you to really think about which operation we're going to use to figure out this problem. Drawing a picture for yourself would be helpful. If we're starting with 87 grams and now it weighs 96 grams, I want you to think about what is the weight of the added books and where would our question mark go? And then that'll help you think about which operation you need to use for this problem. For number 19, which of the stories would model 8 times 6? Again, we want to be thinking about which of these stories is using multiplication to solve them. And number 20, which of the stories is modeling 45 divided by 9? Again, we're thinking about repeated subtraction, we're thinking about division, and which of these stories is using that. So as always, make sure that you are showing your work and asking your teacher for any help on problems that were extra difficult for you tonight. And we also are tracking how our score was, what our score was for the day and what our goal is for tomorrow. We want to just be bettering ourselves each night. We're completing our homework so that even if it's just 1 point better, that's a huge improvement, and we want to just keep working towards that until PARC. Park is only 8 weeks, almost 7 weeks away. So we have only a few weeks to go, and it's really important that each night we're really focused on our homework and bettering ourselves. As always, ask your teacher if you have any questions in the morning. Have a good night.